Hello everyone, I am Professor Chirag Mewada, working at Amiraj College of Engineering in Mechanical Department, and today I am going to take your new subject, that is manufacturing processes, which is offered in the fourth semester. The subject code is 3141908, and there are total 8 number of chapters, and this subject is very useful as mechanical engineer. This is the core mechanical engineering subject. Manufacturing process is the basic subject, as the most of the D2D students, diploma students, know what is this subject about. And for the first and second year students, or from the 12th science, they also have studied in the second sem in workshop technology, what is lathe machine, what is shaper machine. Okay, so uh, before starting, let me throw some light on the syllabus, what it will cover. So so here it is, the syllabus of the manufacturing process subject. Now there is some rationale over here that the manufacturing processes related to machining are included in this subject, and all conventional manufacturing machines are included in this course to understand the basic concepts in मैन्युफैक्चरिंग साइंस। यानी कि यहाँ पे क्या कहा गया है कि अगर जो भी यहाँ पे ये जो सब्जेक्ट कंटेंट है वो कन्वेंशनल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के रिलेटेड है। सपोज लेट मी एक्सप्लेन हियर दैट कि ये जो सारी की सारी जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेसेस है, जैसे कि बेसिक मशीन टूल्स कौन कौन से हैं, उनका क्लासिफिकेशन क्या है, फिर वर्किंग और ऑक्सिलरी मोशन कौन कौन सी है, फिर यहाँ पे लेथ मशीन के बारे में है, फिर ड्रिलिंग, बोरिंग, मिलिंग, प्लेनर, शेपर, देन शोइंग एंड ब्रोचिंग मशीन। वेल यहाँ पे ये जो सारे के सारे जो मशीन्स है उनके टाइप्स कौन कौन से हैं, उनका जनरल पर्पस, उनका यूज क्या है, फिर वो उसमें ऑपरेशंस कौन कौन से हम परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं, यानी कि ये जो बेसिक फंडामेंटल नॉलेज है, ठीक है, कोर नॉलेज, वो इस सब्जेक्ट में आपको मिलेगा। ठीक है, और जो डिटेल एडवांस्ड है, ठीक है, वो आपको इंडस्ट्रियल लेवल पे देखने को मिलेगा, जैसे कि सीएनसी मशीन से इसकी एप्लीकेशन, यानी कि वहां पे जो ये मशीनिंग ऑपरेशन है वो यही सारे परफॉर्म होते हैं। ठीक है, लेकिन वो एक ही मशीन है जो सारे के सारे ऑपरेशंस मोस्टली परफॉर्म कर सकता है। ठीक है, नाउ there is the teaching scheme of this. There are total 3 lectures which I'll be taking, and 2 hours of the practical, and the total marks, including the theory as well as the practical, there is total 150. Now, the first chapter is the basic machine tools metal cutting principle, in which you are supposed to learn about the basic machine tools and the metal cutting principles, एंड व्हाट आर द क्लासिफिकेशन, मशीन टूल्स का क्लासिफिकेशन क्या है, फिर वर्किंग ऑक्सिलरी मोशन क्या है, प्राइमरी कटिंग मोशन, फिर कटिंग टूल जियोमेट्री, टूल सिग्नेचर, और कटिंग फोर्स और पावर रिक्वायरमेंट कौन कौन सी है। उसके बाद जो सेकंड चैप्टर है दैट इज अबाउट द मेटल कटिंग लेथ, इन विच यू विल स्टडी अबाउट द engine leads, construction, all arrangement and principal units of engine lathe, then type and size range of the engine lathe, फिर operations carried out on the engine lathe, attachment, extending the processing capability of the engine lathe, then there is the type of lathe machine, capstan and turret lathe, then there is taper turning कैसे किया जाता है, most of the D2D students will be knowing about this. Then the thread cutting on the lathe machine using gear train, chasing dial, alignment test of lathe. Total there is 10 hours. Then next, the third one is the drilling machine, Now the purpose and field of application of drilling machine, where they are used, then what are the types of drilling machine, कौन से types है drilling machine के, gang milling हो गया, फिर ठीक है, फिर mass milling, then drilling and aligned operations, drilling, boring, reaming, tapping, counter sinking, counter boring, spot facing. These are the operations which can be performed on the drilling machine, and the total hours is 6 hours. Then there is boring machine. What is the purpose of it? What are the type? Horizontal, then precision boring machine. Then very much useful topic, that is the milling machine. Mostly milling operations are performed on the CNC machine right now nowadays. What are the purpose, types of milling machine? General purpose milling machine, different types of milling operations, milling cutters, attachments extending to the processing capability of the general purpose milling machine, indexing, then helical milling operation and its setup, alignment test, how the alignment tests are performed in milling machine. Sixth one is the planer, shaper, and slaughter. You might be aware in the workshop you have seen the planer machine. You might be have seen the shaper machine, but the planer machines are very much costly and they are larger in size. So you might have seen in the industries. Same way applies for the slaughter. You might have seen the slaughter machine as well. Then in this chapter you will study the classification, what are the attachment extending the processing capability of the planners, then the shapers, slaughters, machine tool requirement, then showing and broaching machines, in which you will study about the metal showing classification, then reciprocating showing machines, circular showing machine, bend showing machine, types of broaching machine. Showing you have seen in the wooden benzo, where you might have seen the circular showing machine for wood cutting. Same broaching operation is used for finishing as well as the for cutting slots as well as grooving operation. Then there is another topic is grinding. Last chapter is about the grinding machines and abrasives, in which you will study about the classification of grinding machines, then cylindrical grinders, internal grinders, surface grinder, tool and cutters, then centerless grinding. So you will basically study about the types of grinders, then the types of grinding wheels. What are the wheel characteristics and wheel selection? Now here is the suggested specification table with marks. Now these are the some reference books you can refer, which is the workshop technology, volume 1, 2, 3, and there is volume 2 from this author. And this also book is good, OP Khanna. You can refer this one particular book, manufacturing process. Another good book is the production technology, RK Jain. So one of this you can refer either workshop technology, any of the volume, in which the volume 2 you can refer, and here you can refer only OP Khanna. If you have this book, this is sufficient, more than enough for covering your syllabus. Now, these are the list of experiments. I will share with you the experiments. Total, there are 8 experiments, in which you will in the first experiment, there is study of machine tools. So, study of type of cutting tools available, relative motion between cutting tool workpiece, also derive the capacity of respective machine tools from the machine specification, number of available attachments to perform variety of operations. So in the first one, you will be learning about the study of machine tools such as lathe, shaper, slaughter, planer. In the second, you will learn say similarly about the grinding, milling, and drilling. Third is about the job making. You will have to make one particular job. Then fourth one is shaper and slaughter job making on the then milling, drilling, grinding, and eighth one is lathe machine. Now the major equipments that are required is lathe, milling, shaper, slaughter, drilling, and grinder. You can also watch the lectures or some learning material from the NPTEL side also. So this is all about the syllabus. Now let us start with our chapter. So the first chapter is basic machine tools and metal cutting principles. So first, let me give some brief introduction about this subject, that the manufacturing has become increasingly important to engineer, supervisor, or labor involved in the production of different types of machines, equipments, or tools. So manufacturing has used manufacturing process mainly used to being the metal and non-metal object, semi-finished or raw material produced by means of different techniques to final dimension as per requirement. If we see different objects around us made from such as plastic, steel, or from the other materials that may be not be natural in natural form or raw form. The objects are made by transforming the raw material available in the natural into finished material as per requirement for useful purpose, is known as the process of manufacturing. So basically in the process of manufacturing, so here it is the process of manufacturing, in which there is the input raw material, which is then converted or trans in the transformation process. So the transformation process is, so here the transformation process involves such as the manufacturing processes. Suppose there is one CNC lathe and the input, suppose here it is the input raw material is SS bar. So it is the operations are performed on the lathe machine such as or milling machine, and you get the required output then from the transformation to here output as a finished product. So finally you will get the output finished product from input raw material to output finished product. So this is about the manufacturing concept. Then the next one is how the manufacturing process concept works. The manpower, then there is material, machine, method, and money. These are the requirement for performing any manufacturing process to convert the material to output of very specific product. So the word manufacture is derived from the Latin word, and mm, that means that the made by hand. But in present context, manufacturing involves making products by using various processes. Basically, it involves six parameters, which are the material, machine, methods, then manpower and money, and the manufacturing information system or manufacturing process. So there are total 6M involved in the manufacturing process. Now next is about the manufacturing process classification. How the manufacturing processes are classified. So the development of manufacturing is based on the research in the 6M, which discussed earlier, and the many new materials, methods, and machine identified and developed in every out economic product. The various process used in manufacturing are classified as the first classification is the primary metalworking processes, which is the primary metalworking processes. And in the primary metalworking processes, this is also known as the metal shaping processes or metal forming processes, in which we shape or we form any object. So these processes mainly for has the variety of techniques, makes use of force, power, pressure or stress like compressive, tensile, shear or their combination to cause a permanent determination of material to give required shape. And the primary metalworking processes are commonly there are in primary metalworking processes there is the first one is uh, let me write down here the first one is rolling. Then in rolling operation, we roll the object or reduce the diameter of it. Then there is second one is drawing operation. In drawing, we extrude particular part or draw wires. Sorry, we can say if we want to make a wire, then it can be used. Then there is forging operation. Uh, in forging, you basically perform the operation of in forging the material gets it is like you have seen in the smithing process, how the smith reduces the size of an object by hammering operation. Same way in the forging applies. Then there is extrusion process, in which the part or object is extruded. Then another operation is bending operation, in which the object is bent into required shape. So these are the some the primary metalworking processes. Then there is second, the machining processes. We means machining processes involves removal of unwanted material in form of chips during different types of metal cutting by revolving or non-revolving workpiece or tools from a raw material or raw piece. So such as the various operations which are the let me write down here. So in machining processes there are various types of machining processes involved. The first one is the turning operation. Second one operation is the drilling. Third operation is milling operation. Fourth one operation is shaping. The means the where we have seen the you might have seen the shaping machine in the workshop. Then there is slotting. So basically in this subject you will be studying about these machining operations, which means the machining processes, which comes in this category. And the primary metalworking processes you will learn in the higher semesters in the subject metal forming analysis. Then there is grinding operation. Another is there is the threading operation. Then there is boring operation. Next is producing or showing operation. Hobbing is there, in which the gear shaping is done. Then knurling, reaming, tapping. These are the various operations. Next, another type is the joining processes. Joining is the process of assembling two parts. In joining, the certain types are the first joining process, which you know, that is the welding process. That is welding. Another joining operation, that is the soldering operation, you might have done. Next is the riveting operation. Riveting operation, you might have seen how it is done. It is quite interesting. And another operation is there is bolting operation, pressing operation. Pressing. So these are the various joining operation. Some few I can give names such as adhesive joining, that is also comes in the joining process. Next operation which are in manufacturing processes classification, that is the foundry processes. Now the foundry processes are basically the sand casting, the casting processes, casting related. In the casting, there are sand casting, permanent mold casting, then there is precision casting, investment casting, shell molding processes. Then these are the casting processes. And let me write down here. First process is sand casting. The castings are made using the sand. Then there is permanent mold casting. Third one is die casting. Another type is centrifugal casting. Next is precision casting. Investment casting. So these processes you will study in the next semester in the manufacturing processes too. There is the various types of casting processes depending on the how much precision is required. Investment casting is very costly, but it gives very nice surface finish, while in the sand casting the finish is of poor quality. And the another classification of the manufacturing processes is through the unconventional machining processes, or the unconventional machining processes involves the unconventional machining processes involve various types of machining processes such as electric discharge machining, that is known as the EDM, and electric beam machining, that are the advanced level of manufacturing processes in unconventional. The such as laser beams are used for laser beam machining, and plasma arc machining, ion beam machining, electrochemical machining, in which the chemical processing is used for machining. Then there is ultrasonic machining process, as well as abrasive jet machining processes. Then there is water jet machining processes, and there is surface finishing processes. Next top classification is about the surface finishing processes, such as the sand blasting operation, buffing operation, polishing, finishing, lapping, grinding. These are the various surface finishing operation, tumbling, then phosphatizing, hot dipping operation, parkinsing, anodizing, metal spraying, galvanizing. These are the surface finishing processes. Now the next is, what is machine tool? So a machine tool which performs the material removal operation with tools to produce desired shape or size of the component is known as the machine tools. Now the machine tools are kind of machines on which the metal removal process is carried out, and this basic definition involves the holding the workpiece, holding the machine tools, moving the machine tools or workpiece, or both relative to each other, the requires energy. So basically a machine tool is a power drive machine for making articles of given shape, size, accuracy according to blueprint by removing the metal from the workpiece in form of chips. So the basic function of machine tools involves the holding as well as cutting when the move on one or both of these, or provide a feed motion for one of this. So here you can see basically there is, this is the turning operation in which this is the cutting tool, and this is our workpiece which is mounted on the chuck. So this is all about today's lecture. So in this lecture I explained about the various manufacturing processes, what are the simple general classification, a brief introduction, and what is a machine tool. So this is it for today's lecture. Thank you very much for listening me carefully. Have a nice day.